Myself reading.
Would you say?
Thank you. I live in Arrowbrook, and I know you're going to hear from Monica shortly, I think, about our signage, our street signage. It's really a big problem. We've documented up to 40 different signs that need either adjustments or flat out changes. And I know this has come up before at some point, I think in May, some of the more problematic signs or missing ones were brought up, but nothing seems to have been done. And so I don't know what the expectation is, and I know you can't answer that question right now, but if you could please move it up on the priority for the neighborhood, our neighborhood, we really appreciate it. And then the one thing, Monica, is I didn't include, I gave her some comments. We need probably a dozen no outlet signs. So you pull into some streets and without knowing, you're going into a dead end, whether that's, police and fire may have some other, things to help navigate, but it can cut down a lot of the traffic and improve safety in some of those cul-de-sacs. So if at all possible, we can give you a list of where those dozen signs would go if it's a reasonable request. So if you could just let us know that would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Monica Barlow.
Hello. So I sent you guys an email today regarding like the street signage. So the issue is really just like our signs are inconsistent. We have 3 different Arrowbrook signs, one with a capital A, capital B, one with a capital A, lowercase b, and then we have one sign where Arrowbrook was two different words. So as you go through, like I've provided some examples. So like the Arrowbrook Ave, I also have Meadow Trail Lane, where Meadow Trail, we also have 3 different signage for Meadow Trail Lane. One of them even just says Meadow. Marshall is spelled incorrectly. It's supposed to have 2 L's, but we have a sign that only has 1 L on there. Arrowhead, we have 2 different spellings. We have it where it's 2 words, and then we also have a sign that has it as 1 word. We also have issues where where there's incorrect information on the sign. So Stone Ledge, for example, is supposed to be Stone Ledge Place. We have a sign that says Stone Ledge Drive. We also have different variations of trail on all of our signage. There's one version that spells it as TRL and another version that spells it as ER. So I've provided a map of all the inconsistencies that can be found in our neighborhood. And Craig actually took part in this, and he drove through the neighborhood, went to each intersection to document these inconsistencies. Along with the inconsistent signs, we also have a lot of issues with missing signs. So we have 2 intersections, Tomahawk Trail, Prairie Trail, and also Arrowbrook Ave and Arrowwood Drive, where it's just missing. And one of them has been missing since May 2024. Residents, as well as our HOA, have contacted Elmbridge regarding this, and we still don't have the signs since May. So for the most, you're going to see like there's a lot of leaning signs. So what we are asking for are 2 things: consistent signage. So it's like that's a quality check issue. It's like making sure that our street signs are correct before we install them, as well as asking for an upgraded signpost, because these signposts are like really cheap. They topple over with the wind. Every time we have a storm, we're missing signs. We have bent poles. We have to contact Elmbridge, and it's like this is costing the district money to repair. And if we take a look at Savannah and Artesia, there's a big difference. So we're asking for you to just consider this. And this whole thing goes in depth. And thanks for your time.
Thank you. Greg Wilkerson.
Director, before we begin, count my time, I'd like to pose a question to council. This is in regard to item number 2 on the agenda tonight, which is titled Consider Engagement of Sam Harrison LLP for review of matters relating to the district administrative policies and procedures and certain employment claims. Council, are you able to verify that those are in regard to claims that I've made against a couple of the board members?
They are in relation to employment claims that have been made. Yes.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that question is recently on social media, there's been all kinds of misinformation out there, and we have a board member that has said another investigation is taking place. So if there's an investigation other than this that I've complained on and I'm being investigated, I want to know about it, because I've had several calls this week over people on social media saying that I'm being investigated now. So I'd like to hear that and make that clear tonight before the board adjourns tonight. My comments to you tonight are to talk about transparency. You all know I'm transparent. My website says every firm that I consult for. There's nothing to hide there. My contract says what the board approved. There's nothing to hide there. Yet, you know, we have issues of every time I email the board or I send a complaint in or an executive session happens, something gets sent back to Jared Hamlin and it goes all over Facebook. Things about my retirement, things about federally mandated leave, those type of things that should be private between an employer and an employee. And I've complained about this and asked for investigation since April of this year. So I'm actually here tonight saying thank you, board, for those of you that may vote on this tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've asked for this since April. And it's time the blue line gets cleared, Greg Wilkerson gets cleared, and an investigation takes place so all of the nonsense on social media stops. And I would just implore that you, again, hire a party that's sufficient to do that and to, again, govern yourselves and let's prove it. There's a website up today by one of y'all that still says Greg Wilkerson shady. He's funneling money from the district. He was seated in April. Why is the website still up saying that? An elected board member sitting before me tonight has that still on the website, but yet no investigation's been done. And there's still claims. Why are we waiting so long to get this done? Why is this rhetoric happening over and over again on social media without anybody? I mean, if as an elected member, I would be appalled to let this information go out there and perpetuate and just get larger and larger. And I'm looking for some relief here and looking for the truth. You know, blue line, the claims that we weren't, you know, many jobs at the same time. I've got a full-time employee, a part-time employee, and 6 contractors. My capacity on billable hours is 520 hours a month. I come nowhere near that. And these claims of 200 and something hours per week, that's laughable. I'm an hourly employee here, and you know that. You have my contract. Some of you have gotten every single timesheet I've got. I'm not a salaried employee making 40 hours a week. If I work 40, I get paid for 40. If I work 20, I get paid for 20. So it is time that investigation takes place, and I applaud you, though, and I ask that you vote in favor of that to look into the claims and take care of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any more public comments? Tonight, do I have a motion to close public comments?
I'll make a motion to close public comments.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're going to skip number 2.
Come back to it.
Review and approve amended budget.
So, Director, you know, last month we set the tax rate, and we probably should have done it at the same time, but we didn't have it on the agenda. So this is to approve the budget that corresponds with the 88.0 cent tax rate. The other optional budget was at the 87 cents. We didn't approve it. Matt approved it at the 88. So this is just formality. We'll amend it and approve the budget that corresponds with that tax rate.
Directors, questions, concerns?
So none of the numbers changed per se on that.
The only numbers that changed was the tax rate, which obviously picked, and then the certified values. Nothing else changed.
It's just something we should have done last time.
We should have done last month, but we just didn't quite get on the agenda, so it's just formality.
The budget was in our folders for last month.
Yeah, you can still go to last month's folder and find the 2 budgets.
I would make a motion to approve the amended budget. We had a chance to look at it last month in our folders. with the updated tax rate numbers and values. And so I would make a motion that we approve.
Got a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Two passes. Review and approve designation of administrative assistant employment position and authorize district admin to advertise.
So what we're asking for here is really no new money. When we brought in Alex Laura to the district to work on administrative things, really kind of quickly became evident that she was needed as a flex kind of person. She began doing work with the police department, helping with their record system. I'm not even sure if Captain O'Brien can probably tell me what more she does there, but it's now become that she's more needed there than necessarily the district. Lynn has started 4 months ago. She is really needing some assistance. She is overwhelmed. I know Mike met with her yesterday for a while. I'm sure he can talk about some of the concerns she has. So our thought was, Chief Kennedy said that their budget can absorb Alex's full salary to there. We wanted to take the exact same amount and offer that to another person to help do customer service work, and then maybe have some accounting experience that would help Lynn with just some basic needs. Just some deposits, some filing, things like that. And so she won't be so overwhelmed. So we're not asking for anything new. We're just asking to reposition that money to somebody else.
Is this just an office position? There's no like outside
Just
work
office,
involved?
completely office, yes.
Did have a good meeting with her, really nice lady. I wanted to sit down and get to know her better. And she does have a big tub of to do things that she's having trouble getting through and just through everything. I said, let's sure payroll, let's get our folks paid, pay the bills, take care of what needs to be cared of, and communicate with Rob, but we're gonna try and get you some help. So it's on the agenda, we'll talk about it. She's not pulling her hair, but she could use that.
It's not that she's not capable. Maybe she works just a step slower than Regina. I know that Regina was working 50, 60 hours a week, and sometimes on a lot of weekends. We shouldn't require her to do that.
What is this position? Is it 40 hours? Is it part-time?
40 hours.
Okay.
At one point we had, is it Mandy was in that
She
position?
had Mandy in that position.
Was she assisting, would she be assisting Lynn or Alexander?
She'll assist Lynn. Alex is going to move completely into the police department if this is approved.
I would think assist Lynn and you, right?
Yes, it will be a little bit of everything. She'll do some customer service work. She'll assist me on administrative items. She certainly, we're envisioning maybe helping Lynn a couple hours a day.
And we've already budgeted for it, you said?
Yeah, I mean, we're just basically taking the same money we're paying Alex and just giving it to somebody else.
That helps us cross-train a little bit too, I would think.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of backup.
Right.
I would make the motion to approve administrative assistant employment position, especially since it's already budgeted for, it's no new funds. And it's a position that we've had before.
So the second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Approve replacement of district work vehicle.
So it's another ask of the district. So we have a work truck that we use for everything, from picking up limbs that's in the green belt to transporting signage and poles and everything that we put up, to hauling tractors, to hauling our side by side. I mean, it's just used for everything. We've had it for 9 years now. It was originally a police department truck. It got turned over to administration and we use it now. It's, like I said, it's 9 years old. And we had already kind of slated it to be replaced this year. That is now hastened to move up because last Friday the transmission went completely out. truck's worth about $8,000 or $9,000, and the quote for replacing transmission is about $4,000. So we would like to have a larger size truck because we think, I would say that one of the reasons the transmission's out is because we pulled a very heavy trailer and tractor around a lot that's not designed to do just a half-ton truck. So we would like to get a 3/4 ton truck and replace this. I've got some initial quotes for a new and used, a 2025 Ford F-250 from Bill Hutter Ford in Corinth. It's right at $50,000. The same model at Pilot Point Ford, I think it's called Platinum Ford, was 51, but when I gave them the Bill Hutter Ford, they said to match it. So there may be some other incentives that lower that. That's the asking price of the truck before any trade-in value. Did find at both of those dealerships that's new prices. You're looking at about 50,000 minus the trade-in. A 2023 Ford F-250 diesel is a cabin. Oh, back up. The new one is the 4-door cab. The 2023 Ford F-250 diesel, they call it a cab and a half. I guess that's the cab and the little jump cab that's behind it. 150,000 miles, it's 39,500. And then Platinum Ford had a 2021 Ford F-250 diesel crew cab, so the full size 4-door, 85,000 miles, $41,000. So there's not, as you can see, there's not a lot of difference between some used prices and new. Obviously mileage on a couple of these, we can keep looking for used ones, but I imagine they're all, it seems that the used car prices are maintaining some value. So
Is this a budget item?
yes, we've actually, was included in the budget. We included $50,000 in the budget for this year. So we would come in less if they give us, let's say, $8,000 maybe, and we got the new one at 42, or if we get the used ones at a little bit less than that.
How urgent is this?
I'm sorry.
How urgent?
Well, we have no truck to do anything right now.
Is this something we can kick back to our regular meeting and do some homework on?
That's up to y'all. It's just understand that there's a list of things and growing every day that need to be done. And you have no work truck.
I think I'd be tempted if we budgeted 50K, but I think if we look around, and go with a very base model work truck, maybe even just a single cab, even if we go with just a gas engine instead of a diesel, I think we can come off of that 50K mark. It's going to take some looking, but I think if it's in the budget, we need to address the need. But I do think we can get under that 50K for a new truck if we do away and get a basic truck and get a basic.
These are ways to work trucks.
Well, I know, but I mean, you can get just a single cab without the cab and a half. And, if we don't need, I don't know if they're 4-wheel drive or not, but I don't know that we have 4-wheel drive.
No 4-wheel drive.
And, I know when I looked at my 3/4 ton as an example, it took me a while, but I was able to find one for a really good price. And I think that, it's a budgeted item. We've got it in the budget, but I think we can get under 50K. But I would be amenable to approving with a maximum of 50K and then asking that we try to do whatever we can to stay under that.
Yeah, if y'all can give me just a not to exceed, or just keep shopping and get the cheaper price, absolutely.
And that would be my motion. I would motion that we move forward with the budgeted item for a replacement truck, not to exceed a purchase price of $50,000, and shop around to see if we can't get something for less.
So I was like,
I'll second.
all in favor? Any opposed?
I would like to shop a little bit, but I understand that. The losing end here, so.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Button plate.
Yeah, for item 6, the contract with Button Plate, and then going back up to item 2, the engagement of FAM Harrison LLP I would recommend the board go into closed session under 551071, 551072, and 551074 to discuss the matter in closed session.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Is that Keith? Yeah, okay.
Out of executive session.
I make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do I have a motion on item number 2?
I would make a motion to engage Van Harris LLP for review of matters relating to the district's administrative policies and procedures and certain employment claims.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 7, discuss and approve future agenda items.
Well, there's
No, item 6.
no action.
Oh, no action. Okay. Item 6 is no action. Item 7. Discuss and approve future agenda.
Just meeting next Thursday.
I did have one, future agenda item. Arrowbrook sent us a note about the crosswalks and the signs. I'd like to put some numbers on that, see what we're talking and what we have to do, some kind of an
You just
action.
want to put on the agenda, the signs and the credits, both of those.
I don't know if we need to put it on the agenda or we need to approve doing some homework. I'm not sure what the next course of
We'll
action.
just put it on there. We'll talk
Yeah,
about it.
we'll add it to the one.
Yeah,
The
that's
draft
fine.
we sent out today.
I know, Marlo had the fish trap sidewalk on the draft today. Can we just make sure it stays on? I have an update for that.
Okay. Yeah, which one were you talking about, Brandon? You had emailed us about.
The traffic light, I don't know that we need to talk about that, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Mm.
So, yeah, then, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay. And then can we just make sure that we get the 380 sports contract since that is on the agenda too?
I put, just discussion on the use of Arrowwood Park, but if you want me to designate the contract specifically, I can.
I would love.
Okay. That's no problem.
Anything else?
Yeah, any updates on the finance committee?
We have not met yet.
Yeah, that's.
Are we done? Is
Make a motion to adjourn.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.